I've always wanted to experience Catwoman, learning the ins and outs of her, but I don't want to watch a movie, I want to play a game. Thankfully, we were blessed to have one on the PlayStation 2 based on her worst rated movie. So, will the game be any good? I can't wait to figure that out. Our story begins parkouring across rooftops. Catwoman looks really stretched out for some reason, but it's fine. She's doing her business as a cat, running into burglars trying to rob a store. Is that important? Not really, because nipple is on the menu. What an angle this is. Thank you, Unsung Heroes, for letting the world see this right off the rip. This is like actually how it starts. Boot the bad guy through the glass, no problem. Him and all of his brethren will suffer the same fluid animation death. And oh my lord, these controls are definitely something special. We don't use face buttons to attack. They don't seem to do anything, actually. Moving the right analog stick is what does the business. It's really awkward. Help, help, I'm being shot at from a balcony. Why thank you, cutscene, for making the criminals disappear. It unfortunately didn't help much because the cops want me dead too. Catwoman is a bad lady. You can't be dressed like her and be good. It's just not possible. Horny preteens unite. But horny or not, I need to get out of here. Or try. I got stuck in the second room, not fully understanding what is going on. I kept climbing the wall, trying to reach this grate, and I couldn't. This took an embarrassingly long time. I don't even want to talk about it. But when I accomplished my mission, cops were awaiting my victory. The first whipped straight into a dumpster. The other, Armstrong, is that you? How many whips can this guy take? He started glowing yellow after a little bit, and I seriously thought he was powering up, ready to enter his final form. No, it was just a trick. The police force were not just trying to kill me in-game, they were trying to melt my PC as well. Running high-end games, no problem. Catwoman PS2, priceless. Nothing makes me feel more enveloped into a gaming experience than being forced to restart my game just to stop the lag. But I fixed it, and we're on the move. Until I reached another almighty wall. For the second time in 10 minutes, I'm stuck for a lot longer than I should have been. Fucking lord. The game can lag all it wants to, you can't stop me, throw as many screen flashes as you wish, I will still somehow escape this pathetic excuse of a helicopter. We then get a flashback cutscene of Mr. Hader screaming at his employees, everything is wrong, then he immediately backpedals when getting pushed back. Wow, is he a YouTube commenter? Bring these designs straight to the factory, he says, yes master, it will be done. And I'm not gonna lie, when I reach the factory, our girl gets scared of something and I don't even understand the reason why. This guy is talking about bioengineering bacteria to reduce the effects of aging. This other dude is scratching his ass thinking about next week's lunch. She gasps, but nothing on the screen changes to a weird image. No one says anything bad, so what is she scared of? Whatever. These guys clearly don't want her in the house, and what do you do in this situation? Try to drown the person in a fucking tunnel, which was successful. Girl is dead. But as always, the cat comes to the rescue. Not sure what the cat does. Does it crawl up this lady's cat region below the belt, making them fuse together? I'd love to know. I'd also love to know why the screen turned black for so long, then showed me a static screen before crashing. Is this what happens when you die? Oh cool, I need to find my way to an anime convention by following a trail of green smog. And I'm gonna be real for a second. Nothing happened here. Well, aside from one thing, a second Catwoman was coming out of my ass. I told you the cat went up inside her. But more importantly, we need to talk about these fucking controls. They need to be analyzed by top tier neurologists. They need to just pick their way through the brains of the people who made them. I seriously can't with it. No words, not even a Dr. Seuss story, can explain how bad they are. Dealing with this, screen flashing, and lag is not fun. But I will power through. My Catwoman ass on a stick requires it. First, I did need to fix the graphical bugs. Nothing like sleuthing around to further my headache more, but I did it. It was done. Playing through the game, dealing with that is just not gonna happen. I continued on forward, and all I've really been doing is just jumping around this level. I'm seriously praying to Raw at this point that there's more to do than just jump around everywhere, but it seems to just never end. Relentless parkour masterclass. Look at the camera here, like what is even going on? I'm not yanking anyone's chain. This section took me 15 minutes to finish, just so I can reach two cops. flow right inside of the compactor like water, my friend. I whipped the second one for a solid minute, and apparently these enemies just can't die unless you use traps. Maybe I'm missing something. I have to be. Like, this just can't be real. If it is, you're telling me I'm playing a superhero, or supervillain, I guess in this case, game where you can't beat people up. Possibly this is the PG era of Detective Comics video games. I really thought there'd be more action. Whoa, I broke through the glass, somehow being apprehended by the cops immediately. How they caught me, no idea. One hit and they ran away. What a bunch of bitches, or pussycats, I should say. They can't hide forever though. One slap from my whip, 3-point shot into the dumpster, and for some reason, I kept getting punished while trying to grab these bottles. The game kept showing a black screen like a cutscene was about to play, but nothing happened. I'm starting to wonder if playing this game is going to be more of an experience than I initially thought. Look at these fucking moves. These people think they can hit me with that aim? Spend more time at the firing range, Jesus Christ. Whenever you finish a level, there's a shop where you can buy some upgrades for combat. It appears they wanted to spice up the gameplay. Interesting considering how we barely fight anyone, but I'll take it. Especially this one. Pose. Send the guys into a frenzy by showing off your curves. I can't wait to unlock it. After this, our favorite cat lady stumbles into a construction yard with this cat looking down at us, throwing me right into battle. Perfect timing for me to see if you can kill anyone without using traps, because I still don't know if it's possible. Apparently it is, it just takes a long time. Even when tossing wood, bricks, whatever this is, right into their skull, they just walk it off. So you need to throw like 10 just for one person to die. And I love how they just run away when you do end up killing them. Don't even bother programming a death animation. Who needs it? Just open a door and leave after you've had enough. Now I'm back in the fun zone, swinging across these godforsaken things. At least this time it led me to a cat who fucking killed me. His fat ass broke the wood, but he revived me, so I like him again. Insert "we do parkour again" sentence, seeming to be the staple of this game. I've done more jumping around than fighting people at this point. And look, I hate repeating myself, but these controls are horrific. That being the hardest thing to convey to anybody. I transitioned into the ethereal plane while jumping here, going right through this pole like 4 times. It makes me sick. After going through the torture, a bunch of jackasses start shooting at me, or the cutscene said they are. I'm not seeing any bullets during gameplay. Maybe they're just elaborate cosplayers. So I'm going along, jumping and jumping, then I fall. This is where my brain melted. The part with the lampposts, it took me forever to do that, and when I fell, the game expected me to do the entire segment all over again. No thank you. Civilization can get mad at me for using save states, but I challenge any and all souls to play this game and not want to do it. It's only level 3, and I'm already resorting to this. Fucking Christ. I climbed and climbed, eventually making my way to the top, with a gang of enemies awaiting my arrival. They started giving me the works, probably knowing how inexperienced I am with combat. If only there were more moments to practice, imagine that. They also have guns too, so those guys I was talking shit to earlier, they actually went to the firing range. All I can say is thank heavens for this cat. If you find him in the level, he revives you up to 9 times. What a silly reference to feline lore. I love authenticity. This is also the moment I found out the exploit of attacking people in cat mode, I'll call it. You just don't get hit unless the enemies have guns. I brought all these guys to Pound Town by doing it until they ran away like a bunch of little bitches. And after all this time, we get a story update. I'm chasing a guy, no idea what his name is, or who he is for that matter. Whatever makes the plot go forward, I guess. I get this is a movie game and all, but can you give me a little bit of context in the cutscenes? So far, there's only been like 2 cutscenes with voice acting. The rest are just walking into a location and that's it. At the very least, I know it's not Hader, so is it his brother? His lover? Who knows? I guess I'll find out in this strip club. All these funky colors everywhere. This is great. This is how you build a universe. These people have some serious moves to go with it. How did he bend like that? Fucking incredible. Is that the only thing of interest that happened? Outside of me feeding mortals to treasure chests, yes. Also, how Catwoman forgot how to do her Olympian techniques. I'm swinging on this pole, thinking it would lead somewhere, and it didn't. I thought I was doing something wrong, so I looked up a walkthrough because I genuinely got confused. Apparently I wasn't doing anything wrong, she just wasn't jumping high enough. Classic. The establishment was holding me down. I did eventually make the jump. Boom, save state. No way I'm taking any chances after winning that big at the casino. You take your chips and run. I pressed a button, lasers turn on, naturally, you run into them. This Gene Okerlund looking motherfucker comes out, off the balcony you go. He disappears in midair, then reappears on the ground, opening another door. The unnamed man tries to shoot me, he misses, does it again. Like, is he the embodiment of capitalism? The higher up you go, the more useless you become. Remains to be seen. He is my first boss fight, so we will see if that's the truth. At first, I didn't fully understand what was going on. He was blocking everything I did, until I channeled my inner Nintendo and started tossing hammers at him. I guarantee as a kid, his bitch ass couldn't get past the brothers, so I'm gonna make him relive those memories. He clearly had enough of it, having a cutscene teleport me back to the center. Try as you will, buddy, you can't stop the hammers. Catwoman then goes into sexual mode, and I think I need to play this cutscene just so you can get the full experience.
The other night, you killed a friend of mine. Why did you do it? Talk, now!
It's about Bielin, that Russian in the lab. Slavicki, he said the formula's toxic.
What little voice acting we are blessed with is gold. She kicks the guy in the head, and he forgets he's supposed to die, bringing us to Hader's factory, where I'm guessing we're going after the formula. All I can do is assume because the game didn't tell me. Like, I still don't even know who he just killed. He must just not matter. This entire factory level is filled with parkour, jumping around, swinging hogwash. I was on this level for 45 minutes. I'm not joking. I have the VOD to prove it. My favorite part is how we only had 3 fighting segments throughout the whole thing. If you remove the climbing and me falling aspect, the level was only like 2 to 3 minutes long. But no, it had to be as infuriating as possible. Words cannot describe how miserable it was. When a game makes you want to play in traffic because of how much fun you're having, what cohesive sentences can be strung together? None, it's just impossible. The only positivity I got out of this was being able to purchase the ability to grab enemies' guns out of their hands with my whip. Yay me. I feel like such a rock star, especially when I finished this intense puzzle that I did not use a walkthrough to figure out, opening my way to legitimate platforming. This game right here wants me to do platforming. Look, this bitch can barely climb, she can sort of kill, but she definitely can't platform. It's pretty difficult to position yourself when you can't even control the camera without entering the first person mode. On top of that, the jumping is very slippery. Put a goddamn floor is wet sign down, Jesus Christ. Naturally, after losing your mind, you take a break. Check in the Discord server, you should join, link below, until you look back at your screen to see Catwoman feeling herself up, sexually posing at you. If you remain idle for long enough, this actually happens. Holy fan service, I guess. They seem to have put more effort into this than the entire game so far. Literally nothing else happened in this level. It just led us to a laboratory, and oh no, the scientist is dead. The one that made unnamed man number 1 try to drown me earlier. So, fuck him. After arriving at the Hader home, Catwoman tells us business rests with George and Laurel. And these people are... Okay, George is Hader, but who the fuck is Laurel? Whatever, at least finding out Hader's first name is some story progress. After I closed up a few guards and boxes, we of course return to swinging on poles. It's a must, it's culture now, and it may sound like raw pessimism to say, so let me be fair to this awesome game for a second. We do a lot more fighting in this level than previous. The billionaire's castle is filled with plenty of souls. Are they fun to fight? No. A little part of me is questioning if it was intentional for them not to include many fighting segments throughout the game. Does this look like exhilarating fun to you? Maybe my hatred of swinging on poles isn't warranted. I love when games make you question what you know. That is a mark of true talent behind the game development wheel. I obviously get through this level with no issue. I wish there was more for me to talk about with this level, but there isn't, so I just slither my way into the mansion interior. A place filled with puzzle after puzzle after puzzle. My personal favorite moment of the whole thing was throwing flaming logs at a blue-shirted gentleman. He took like 5 and kept getting up, The resilience on this guy is just incredible. You probably won't believe what I did after my log throwing session. I climbed through a garden and swung on more poles. And look, I know nothing about Catwoman, alright? But I was sitting here thinking to myself while doing this, is there really nothing better you could make this character be doing? I'd be fine watching her eat roadkill. Cats do it all the time. Why not build on the feline lore from earlier? But we don't get any more cat lore. We only get a crazy action scene. Wave after wave of enemies coming from a bunch of doors, shooting at me with guns, beating my ass. Things were really starting to look grim for a moment, but you cannot stop me. Whoever owns this room is lucky there's no blood in this game. The maids would have had to clean up gallons of it. We meet a new character, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen whacks poor Catwoman in the back of her head with a golf club, and she just eats it for lunch. Georgie isn't here, she says, and now we need to battle her. Damn, it only took 3 mysterious textures to knock you out cold. I want the evidence of Baleen. Ellen tells me the location of it, then phones someone up to ensure my death before I arrive. I honestly don't think Catwoman will die though. I will. I hate this level. What I have towards it may be some form of PTSD. This bitch with a sniper that sounds like a fucking robot.
She's approaching the perimeter. Lock and load.
Start shooting at me, seeming to have infinite ammo. I'm going across construction scaffoldings. A light is blaring on me, making it hard to see. Explosions keep going off. I'm getting shot at from everywhere. I can't figure out where to go. It's just as fun as it sounds. Finding the path you are required to take is very difficult. It takes a lot of patience. However, I think that's the lesson Catwoman PS2 teaches you. That chest pain that I was getting earlier while dealing with these controls, maybe it's all intentional design to keep you locked in for this one segment. And when I completed it, I felt a joy like none other. It's similar to when a Pop-Tart comes out of the toaster. It's just fucking good. They did all this to stop me and still failed. So what's next? A place they call the Performance Center. I don't know, imagine shrinking yourself down and running through the innards of a Rubik's Cube. That's the only thing I can think of to describe playing it. Just to reach a ghoul. Or no, it's Hader actually. Catwoman says something to him.
I know the truth about Baleen, and I have a problem with you selling poison to millions of women.
What poison?
Toxic. Lethal. My girl Patience found out and you had her killed.
My girl's Patience? I'm not even fucking around. What did she say?
My girl Patience.
I assume we're talking about the girl from earlier? But more importantly, why did we not get informed the Baleen concoction was poisoning people from the beginning? That's why I said earlier, when girl gasped, it didn't make any sense. Was it some sort of elaborate retention farm to not tell me from the beginning? It's of course no matter. Boom, detective comes in, tells me there's no way to get out of here. Keep thoughts like that to yourself, buddy. What is this camera angle? My lord. And now Mr. Detective is the boss fight. One I didn't need to do anything in but throw stones. It was a true battle of the century. After pelting him to falling on the floor, Catwoman repeats everything we just heard in the last cutscene, in case we didn't hear it the first time. We teleport back to the mansion. Ellen is back. She's moseying on in. She burned the hard drives of evidence, the discs, everything. A major plot twist happens. She was behind the infamous facial cream all along. Big George is a dead guy now. Ellen then waffles on about why she made the chemical. She was supposedly everything they wanted her to be. She turned 40 years old and got tossed away. Not entirely sure what she's even talking about here, but girl power. Actually, never mind. Blow smoke up your ass. She tried framing me as the killer of George. So what does Catwoman do in this situation? Go to the HQ of Hader to end the war. To be fully serious for a second, I'm not making up any of the story segments I have said. This is really how the story goes. It's this scattered and barely makes any sense. Is the movie like this too? Movie games are supposed to advertise the movie, right? And this one shockingly does it better than any other movie-based game I've ever played. I did say earlier, this Catwoman movie is the worst rated Catwoman thing, I believe, and this game makes me want to watch the movie and see if it's this awful. Is it? I refuse to believe it is. After I finish parkouring number 5821, this snitch is telling on me to the cops. Doesn't work, bozo. He saw right through you. And here we find out Baleen also has added benefits, according to Ellen. She 90-degree angle chokeslams the detective, little bro gets blasted in the shoulder, now we're on the chase. And this room right here adds to the many jaw-dropping moments of Catwoman the video game. I'm running around clueless, like, what do? I have enemies shooting at me from above, I can't get to them, there's no door, I can't do anything. Am I just waiting for something? Oh, apparently I am. I just ran around for a little while and this thing just fell. I don't even know if I did something to cause it. Who knows? Just get me out of this torture chamber. Bringing me to one final mental test. A parkour classic, swinging on bars. This time though, it's different. Ellen is shooting at me with a rifle that has a bottomless clip cheat on, and I need to make this high jump. That just wasn't working. No matter how many jumps I did, nothing. It was just like the strip club. I thought something was wrong. Nope, Catwoman just didn't feel like making the jump. Ironically, it was the last jumping segment of the game, so maybe it was intentional. All I can say is when I made the jump, I pressed the save state button in a heartbeat so I can ensure to swing myself into the final battle against Ellen. Was there any depth to it? If you consider standing there throwing stuff at her depth, then yes, there was plenty of it. I cannot describe how exciting this battle was. Ellen falls off the building, Catwoman, the anti-hero she is, catches her. As she's holding on, Ellen looks at her reflection in the glass window, then ends herself. We get a very sexually tension-filled cutscene with the detective. He does whatever this emotion is, and that's it. That's Catwoman the video game. A fantastic movie tie-in, if I say so myself. Plentiful moments of cat lore authenticity, unbelievably fun battles, and swinging on poles. What else is there to say? Nothing. Calling this fantastic is sarcasm, if you couldn't pick up on it. Catwoman seriously cannot be this bland of a character. There is not one genuine, redeeming quality about what I just played. I love bad games, and even in the worst stinkers, you can find something funny or see the vision somewhere. What was the vision here? I can't see it. And honestly, if you told a blind person, swallow this pill and you would get this game's vision, they'll reject it and be happy staying the way they are. I tried finding some developer interviews, just something to explain what happened. I couldn't. The only logical assumption I can make is time constraints maybe, but really, like, forget about the gameplay. The story barely made any sense. You didn't even need to make that part. It was done for you and I still couldn't understand what was going on. At the end of the day though, this is a great gag gift for any Catwoman fan. Tell them it's awesome, one of the greatest experiences they will ever have, and they'll be questioning themselves the whole time, just like I was. I can't believe I spent 7 hours of my life playing this. If you somehow made it to the end, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and check out this other PS2 classic shown on screen. As always, take very good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you all again in the next video.